Hey guys, it's Laurel. Welcome to FLOSSTUBE number 8. Today is January 29th. I'm a day later than when I normally film, but we had some stuff going on yesterday, so I was a little busy, so I thought I would sneak on here today, do a quick little video, maybe get it posted today, may not see this till Monday. I feel like I've been busy the last couple weeks. Maybe not as busy as I had planned on being. I did finish some stuff. I had some finishes that I can show you today. I don't think I have any new starts. I've been working on my whips. I have one frame piece to show you. I have another frame that I have here. I just haven't framed it yet. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Real quick life updates. My daughter that I've talked about is home from tech school now, so both my children are in the same state. Makes me very, very happy. So happy days are going on in our household these days. It's been a little rainy here. It's actually been a lot rainy here. Our yard is mud. The dogs have had a good time with it, me not so much. So I'm just going to jump in and kind of show you. I'm going to start with fully finished objects just because I've got 3 of them, which is not impressive because 2 are teeny tiny. And then I'll just jump in from there and we'll just see how far we get. So the first item that I finished is, I had showed you this last time. This is my big giant finish. Oops. Upside down. This is the heart. This is the pattern that's on the back of the 2023 Book of Days. I stitched this and finished it last video, and I did finally get it put into a pillow. I don't think I'm going to put any trim or anything on it. We'll see. I'll show you the back from way back here because my stitching is not very good, but I did match my print up pretty good. When I make these, there's a seam right here. So I leave an opening, I sew all the way around and stuff it, and then I close my seam up is how I do my pillows. But that's my little bitty finish. I'll put him in a tier tray or something, maybe for Valentine's or something, I don't know. The second item, I had just finished stitching this within the last, I don't know, few weeks. This was what I was using as my Wednesday stitch. I had decided to do some smalls on Wednesday because I am gone for the bulk of the day and I can travel, and this is easy to carry back and forth to church. So I started with the flag. I would like to do the eagle. I dyed some fabric this week for it, but I don't really like the color that it turned out, so I'll do some more experimenting with that one. But I did do the flag. I made it into a pillow. I may order one of the cording makers and do some cording like this because I like how that shows on it, but we'll see. But this is my finish. My little pillow. And I did finish it. I had some patriotic fabric, so I finished that up. Like I said, I will probably eventually do the cording finish on it, but it won't be like a priority. I did not start a new one Wednesday. That's the day that my daughter flew in, so we were at the airport and then we met my son. We had some dinner, so it wasn't our normal Wednesday night. My husband didn't feel good. We didn't have church, so I didn't start a new one. My plan for Wednesday smalls, I am going to do, I don't remember what she's calling it, but Chantel from Chantel 141 Design Company and Kathy Haberman have collaborated for a whole finishing project for the, it's like the little chalkboard. Kathy had done the free autumn. I should have pulled it out to show you, but she released the free autumn pattern a while back, and now she's done all the seasons, and there's going to be a stitch along with a finishing video. So that's going to be my Wednesday project. I ordered that, and that should be here, I don't know, the next couple of days sometime. So that will be my new Wednesday project. I also ordered some frames from Hobby Lobby so I could frame a couple pieces. I have been looking at our Goodwill just for some frames to see about possibly trying to get my husband to cut some down. But I just haven't seen anything that's good, and it was really good pricing. What I got, I actually took my finishing challenge number piece that I pulled for this month, or that was drawn for this month. So sorry. I took it in with a second piece just in case I couldn't find anything for the first one, and wound up it was really good pricing, so I went ahead and ordered a frame for both of them. So I went ahead and framed this month's, which is LW 1884 by Lila Studio. And I have a frame for Little Deeds by the Scarlet House, and I'll have that one framed and show it to you next video. I may try to frame that this afternoon, but here's my frame piece. And this is on a 28 count Lugana, I think it's mushroom, and with Turkish red is the threads. So I like that one. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm getting a little better each time with framing. This one I just basically lined up to make this line straight with my frame, and then since the other three sides don't really have true borders, it turned out okay. So very excited about that one. And like I said, next time I will have Little Deeds. My plan is, I shouldn't say definitely, but my plan is to have that framed. I may again work on that this afternoon. I did work on some whips last weekend. I didn't feel well, so I stayed in the bulk of the weekend on the couch and did some shopping online and some stitching. So this is what I have worked on. This one I had shown last video. I'd started Wildflowers by Kathy Barrick. I am stitching mine on a piece of 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus Lugana, and I am using the DMC conversion that she listed, and I am stitching it 1/2, excuse me. So this is where I am. I really like this one because I've been filling in the black and then just coming in and filling in my leaves and stuff while watching TV. The stem in the picture reads a little more brown than what the actual color is. The color is another green, but I think I'm going to start it with the green and just see how it turns out. But that's where I am on this one. This has by default turned into my Saturday morning stitch. I had talked before in some videos about how our living room is open. We don't have any kind of window treatments or blinds or anything in there. So Saturday morning I like to get up before the house is awake, which I don't normally beat my husband awake, but pretty weather, he'll be up golfing, and I'll go in there and sit in the quiet before the dogs are up and wild and everything, and I work on that one in the quiet on Saturday mornings. I really enjoy that one. My next piece that I worked on is Disturb Us Lord by My Big Toe. This was my focus whip for this month. And I think I had said in the last video, my goal was to finish down to here so that the next time I pick it up, I can start on this pretty row here. I am actually right here, so I just have this row to stitch, and I've got a couple evenings left, so hopefully I can meet my goal for this one so that when I pick it back up, I can start with that really pretty row. But this is what it looks like so far. And this is on a piece of 16 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed a while back. And this is probably just a little over halfway done, so it's going to be big. It's going to be a big piece. But I like how that one's turning out, and I'm also stitching that one with the DMC conversion. And then the last piece that I have worked on is Hands Across the Sea. Emily Ann Foster. I don't know why I can't remember her name. I really like this one. These books, oh, they're nice. I like these books. This is also on a piece of 28 count Lugana, and I also think it's mushroom. Find something to put behind it. And this is where I am on this one. This is stitched with Schoolhouse Red. It calls for 2 different colors. I think this little pattern right here and then some wording in the next line is supposed to be a different color. But I'm just going to do it all in one color. And Schoolhouse Red is not what it calls for. I can't remember what it calls for, but I wanted to do something with that color. So, and it goes pretty fast. Like this whole row, I think I started like, I did half the letters last night just watching some TV, and then I did the rest in the car this morning on the way back and forth to church. And if it's not like a bumpy road or anything, I can stitch on the Lugana in the car and it doesn't bother me. And we have pretty much highway on the way to church, so it gives me a little bit of stitching time, so I like that. So what I wanted to do this video is just kind of go over some of my bucket list stitches, so to speak. I thought it would just kind of be neat to show you the stuff that I have on my list to do. I mean, obviously I have a ton of stuff on my list, but these are the ones that are, I tried to narrow it down to my top 10. It's top 10-ish. So I'm going to show you these and then I'll show you my haul after that. So when I say 10-ish stitches, some of them are like groups of charts, like they're in a series. This one, you know, if you've watched me, you know that I love Plum Street, and I consider all of these larger ones that she's been releasing to be kind of one series. So I am almost done with A Shepherd Song. I have started Live on Little, and I have been stitching on Live on Little also. That's my lunchtime stitch, but I didn't bring it home with me this weekend to show you, just because in the 30-40 minutes I get done at lunch stitching, and I had one day where I went out for lunch, so I didn't stitch any, so I really didn't get a great bit accomplished. So I won't show that every video, maybe every 3rd or 4th video, just so you can see it. But I am working on that one, and it's on a 20 count Aida. A Shepherd Song I did on a 14 count Aida, and I much like the results of the 20 count Aida, the look of them more. But I do like this one. This may be the next one after these two. I don't know. I mean, I could stitch these for the rest of my life, probably never finish all of them. But I also like Liberty's Welcome is in the top running. I even like, I told you before, I don't stitch Halloween, but I love the border on a Yuletide Welcome, I think is what it's called. So I am going to stitch that one also. I'm just going to un-Halloween it. I'm going to make the witch just a girl and just change some of the stuff to make it not so Halloween-y, but just more fall. But these are definitely on my cross-stitch bucket list. I know there's a ton of people that have finished this one. This one, and there's a Blackbird patriotic that will be one of my, or there's 2 actual patriotic pieces that Blackbird has, that one of these 3 will be my next patriotic start. But I love this one. I mean, it's so pretty, and it's big, so it'll 288 by 292. That's big for me, so that'll be really pretty hanging up. And I love like these. Oh, I just love this, all that stitching. I just love it, love it, love it. All right, so that would be 2, the Plum Streets as 1, and then Teresa Kogut. The next 2 kind of go together, and I know a lot of you have stitched this or have it on your list or have started it. A lot of people are doing these as their Sunday stitch. And they are His Eyes on the Sparrow and Consider the Lilies. These are really, really pretty, and I know, so 435 by 363, and the same on this one. These are giant, but they are just beautiful. So these would be two that I would like to do as a through the year stitch, but of course I've talked about before, I have two of those right now that I haven't finished. So maybe one of these when those two are done. I'm not in a great hurry to start those, but I do want to start them at some point. This one I saw Lori Holt, I'm pretty sure, did A Savior's Praise by Shakespeare's Peddler. This is gorgeous. It is 313 by 370. So she's by no means small either, but it's beautiful. I have seen several people that have changed the verses on here, and I think I may do that just to make it the hymns that I really enjoy. But I don't know, we'll see between now and then, but just beautiful. This is one that I would have already started, but I truly want to do this on a piece of linen because I think from what I've seen it looks better on linen. And I had talked about I'm just now really venturing into that, so I need a little more practice before I delve into this one, but this is definitely one that needs to be in my house at some point. This one is a totally unexpected one. It came up as I've not seen anybody show it on a video. I have not seen it on Instagram, on Facebook, on any social media. I just saw it. I think it was on 123 Stitch, and I think it's a newer chart. Newish, I guess. Not like brand new, but I saw it, and as soon as I saw it, I just instantly put it in my cart and bought it. Modern Folk Embroidery, Under the Stars. It is massive. His charts are so pretty. Last year, the Stitch Along, Peace and Plenty, I so wish I had done that with everybody, but I didn't. And I think I was hung up because he has another red one that he did as a Stitch Along 2-3 years ago. I don't remember the name of it, but I just, in my mind, I need that red one in my life, so I couldn't start the other one because I hadn't started the red one. But what did I do? I turned around and bought another red one. But I mean, it's just all inspiring. It's just beautiful. This one is also, it's very big. This is 281 width and 557 in height. Has a total of 53,585 stitches. This will take me 100 years, but I don't care. I know he has it's like the coverlet, I don't remember the name, but the coverlet sample that's like in blue, sampler in blue, that a lot of people were doing, and they were condensing it to not do the whole thing, but I just think you need to do the whole thing. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so I don't even know what number we're on, but like I said, maybe a little over 10, I don't know. Anne Grimshaw, and I'm sorry for the glare, I didn't take it out. It's a little bit weird packaging. There are so many people doing this. Carol Saltbox Stitcher shows her every so often, and I mean, how could you not want to do this? I know a lot of people have complained about the chart because I don't know when it was put out, but people have complained about it. 2000, copyrighted 2000. People have complained about the chart, and you know, I'm okay. It's beautiful. I will probably whine about it a little bit when I start it, but it's not going to keep me from doing it. I will tell you, I don't know how accurate this is, but I did see somebody on social media that complained. They had posted something about this chart. They were working on it. They were very disappointed about something not lining up, and they contacted someone about it and complained, and they were so disappointed that they wouldn't reprint the chart. I don't know. I don't really think you're going to get any extra special treatment from designers when you go on social media and blow them out of the water. But I will say she did post what they told her, which, if it's accurate, was very helpful. They said that the advice that they gave her, and again, I don't remember if she contacted them directly or if she got this from somewhere else. I don't remember, but I did make a note on mine. She was told that on page 4, shift design 1 square to the right above line 157. So again, I haven't like delved into the chart to see if that is accurate, if that slides everything over, because I'm not going to go into all that detail till right when I'm ready to start it. But it's always good to go out there and look on, groups and just see if there are corrections or anything. And there may be a correction for this on a website somewhere. I don't know, but this is really pretty. And Teresa Kitten Stitcher had stitched it and shown hers. And I can't remember if it's the same colorway, if it's the black, or if she used another piece. But hers is framed and big and beautiful and gorgeous. And I think I actually saw hers first and was like, ooh, I need to look into that. And then I bought it and I set it to the side. And then, like I said, Saltbox Stitcher has been showing hers, and which she is so fast. I'm just amazed at how fast she can stitch things. It just completely blows my mind. But anyway, I think she actually showed it, not her last video, because I think she just released one. I haven't watched it yet, but I think the video before she showed it, when she was showing all of her whips. And you need to go watch that. If for some reason you don't watch her, you just need to see it, because amazing. So my last 2 that I own are part of my haul, so I'm going to show them in a minute, but I do want to just mention a couple other ones that I don't own yet that are on my list. There's another Plum Street. It's called the Flood. And I was going to go on and print off pictures of these, and I kind of forgot about it, so I'm sorry. But the Flood, it is a very large piece also. And I'm pretty sure, again, that Carol had mentioned that she had started this maybe, but I don't think she showed it in her video. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous chart. I'm sure me, along with tons of other people, I want to stitch the Blackbird chart, Birds of a Feather, which of course is out of print, and everybody's been looking for them. And I go on like everybody else and I post it in all the out of print charts, looking for this chart. It's my unicorn chart, whatever. There have been rumors that it is going to be reprinted. I hope that is accurate, because if so, the minute I see it, I'm going to buy it, because it's just, I don't know what it is about it that is just so pretty. But I love that one. I do also want to do All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna Designs. Again, Lori Holt had posted this. I think, I'm 99% sure Christy with Crosshatch Quilts also posted this, but it's a very, very pretty chart. I think that would work well for a all year long stitch also. So I do plan on ordering that one in the near future. And then the last one is, there's actually a couple charts by them, and I cannot say the name of the company, but it is Quaker Hometown is the name of the chart, and it has the alphabet like through the middle, and then there's the town is on the top, and then it's reversed on the bottom. It is a stunning chart. It's absolutely stunning. I have looked like nowhere online do I see. You can order it straight from them as like a PDF, I think, which is probably what I'm going to have to do. I had called a needlework shop that I thought could get just about anything, and they did order it for me. I waited, because it does come from overseas, I waited several months, maybe 3 or 4 months, and I checked in with them and they hadn't gotten it yet. They were still waiting, so I waited a few more months and I called back. They we're still waiting on it. Again, I waited like 3 more months. I called back. They said it was on its way, but you know, they didn't know shipping time or anything because of course, overseas. And then I waited a few more months and I messaged them and they told me that it would, if I was in a hurry for it, I should probably just order it directly from the company. So I don't know if that means they still have my order on file and I'll eventually get it from them, or if I need to order it from this other company. But either way, at some point, I'm going to order that one. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So, and then there are 2 that are on the list that I went ahead and ordered. This one is another Modern Folk Embroidery, and apparently I just like his really giant charts. I mean, most of his stuff that I've seen is fairly large, but he does have smaller, more manageable charts. But this is Forget Me Not. Lisa, the Kindred Stitcher, showed her finish of this, and this was like right when I first got back into cross stitch. She showed it and I was like, oh, I watched the video like 4 times. I need to go back and see what colors she used because it was a really, really pretty color combination. I bought it. I didn't buy it. I had it on my wish list, and then maybe last video, the Recovering Monogamous Stitcher mentioned it. I'm trying to remember. Did she show? She may have started. Why am I blank? I don't know, but anyway, she spoke of it and I went, and I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and order it. And since I was ordering that one, I went ahead, now that I have done a portion of A Hands Across the Sea, I went ahead and ordered Anne Tong Uffendale. I have wanted this. I'm so sorry for the glare. I've wanted this since I saw it, and I wasn't going to order it because they are, whoops, oh, I just dropped everything. They are a little pricier, but once I saw how their charts were charted and how easy they were to read, I just decided I was going to go ahead and get it. So it's fairly big. On 28 count, the design would be almost 23 by 27. I probably won't do 28 count. I'll probably do like a 32 maybe. I don't know. I need to pull it out and look at it. I haven't opened it yet to look at all the insides. But look at this. Look what they sent with it. I don't know if they do that with all their stuff, but I was very geeked out by that. A while back, the Paisley Stitcher showed her, in her like whip parade, she showed a bunch of Hands Across the Sea charts. Oh my goodness. Just like eye candy all day long. All day long. Hold on, I dropped something. Oh, so sorry. Alright, so that is all of my bucket list charts. Will I get all those done? I don't know. But you know, I just like having them. They're pretty. I like collecting them. So I did, because I think I was on the couch and a little puny last week, I probably did a little more shopping than what I normally would have. So this is not the norm. I would have this much cross stitch haul in one video, but I do have several more charts that I ordered. Somersault boxes. I am stitching. I'm not currently stitching. I have a whip of the spring salt boxes, and I decided to go ahead and order this one. I think somebody had Plum Street on sale, I feel like, because I ordered a lot of Plum Street. This one had been on back order and came in this happy morning. This was an exclusive to somewhere for a while. Both of the versions are pretty, whether you do it in the natural or in the black, but I am gravitating towards the black because somebody had posted their star, and I'm pretty sure it was Nicole's Needlework. She's stitching hers on Black Swan, I think is the name of the fabric, and it is amazing. the start. I haven't seen another post. I don't know if she's posted anymore or if she's had a video since then. I haven't seen one, but so pretty. Next is a Scarlet House. You know, the Scarlet House is right up there with me, right next to Plum Street. This was, I feel like this was in somebody's like Christmas box or maybe a retreat. I don't know. But as soon as I saw it, I knew that when it was released, I would buy it. And I don't think it's very big. 163 by 163. Lucy Owen. And that one I feel like will be a start very shortly also. And then this one, I kept trying to order this and it was out of stock everywhere. Like I would see it and I'd be like, oh, next time I place an order, I'm going to order this. And then I would go to place my order and it would say it was out of stock. So I finally got this one. And I know a ton of people have already finished this one. I think there's the two versions. I do like the brighter version. And all her little stackable ones are super cute. And then again, the Scarlet House, Mary Miller. Oh, bent that when I dropped it. Somebody on social media had finished this, and it was so pretty. So, and you know, it's pretty in the picture, but it was just gorgeous when they showed it. I'm pretty sure it had to be a FLOSSTUBE, or it was in a video. I don't even think it was just social media. I think it was in somebody's FLOSSTUBE video. So I ordered that one. I really like the colors in this one and the border. If you can see, that's a really cool border. I like that. So I will be plenty busy. I won't be out of things to stitch for a long time because I did actually start a Excel spreadsheet on my new computer just because I noticed that I was having a hard time remembering, did I order that chart? Do I own that chart, or if I just looked at it 25 times? So I did start a spreadsheet because I know of two things I have bought duplicates of and I don't want to make that a habit. So I did start a spreadsheet. I'm about halfway done with it, getting the rest of those put in there. So then I don't know if that'll make me buy more stuff because I can see that I don't own it or what it will do. But anyway, plans for cross stitch for the next couple weeks. I am going to continue working on my Hands Across the Sea. I will probably, more than likely, I will continue work on wildflowers on Saturday mornings. The weekends are just my like free whatever I want to do. So that has been filling that spot because I've been in the mood for that. As I said, I am going to do the stitch along with Chantel 141. I think Monday or Tuesday, American Patchwork and Quilting will release the next number for the UFO challenge. So I will have a new focus whip to work on. I will post that on my Instagram account. If you're interested to see what that is before the next video and see my starting point, I will post that. And then I have a couple other ones that as I was going through stuff, I really want to start, but I'm trying to be good and not add too much to my whips, but I don't know how much willpower I'm going to have on that. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. But that's all that I have right now for my cross stitch my cross stitch portion of the video. I am going to talk about my quilting next, and I know that some of you may not be interested in the quilting, but as always, I do encourage you just to kind of hang out and just see. It might be something that sparks an interest for you. I know I've had several people that have contacted me and said they are a cross stitcher and a quilter, so they like having both in the same video. I do want to thank you all for your comments on the last video, for letting me know what you have been stitching. I had asked about if you were stitching any Mirabilia, Nora Corbett, or any of the Hawk Run Hollow series. There are some Hawk Run Hollow pieces that I did not know existed. So I am still looking because I do think that I want to do one or a portion of one at some point. we'll see. A lot of them have like a Halloween block in them. So, and I know a lot of people take those out and put their Halloween blocks together in one piece so that they can display the other one year round. So I may do something like that, but ooh, there's a lot of choices now. So I'm having a hard time narrowing that down. So I would like to know what your bucket list cross stitch piece or pieces are. If you have some that are on your list that you absolutely want to do at some point in your life, whether they're big, whether they're small, whether they're simple, whether they're complicated, if they have sentimental meaning for you, I am very interested to see if we have any of the same bucket list stitches. Maybe we can start a bucket list stitch along. I don't know. But let me know below what you have on your list. Let me know if you'd be interested in a bucket list stitch along. Maybe we can start one. And I'm going to go forward with the quilting portion. So again, I hope you'll stick around. If not, I will be back in 2 weeks for some more updates on that. All right, so I want to start out by saying I do not remember your name. I should have looked it up, but you commented and told me good luck with only doing one wool applique piece at a time. Good luck with just being disciplined, because I did fail. I haven't even finished my first piece, but I love it and I bought some more. So I'm going to start with that one. Now I bought some of the DMC Pearl Cotton. This is maybe, I don't know a lot about Pearl Cotton, maybe 8, maybe size 8. But I bought 3 colors just to try. I have done a buttonhole stitch before on something. I mean, it didn't scare me, but mine are not very pretty. So I'm still practicing, but I did get all of my pieces. Let me show you the chart first. Or the pattern. Now, I did not reverse mine because I wasn't going to try to go through all that trouble, because this is fine either way. So this is the piece, and it's little. The finished size is 8 by 9. So I thought that would be a good start. So cut all the pieces out, which, ooh, let me tell you, it was like tight on the pieces. Now I will say, and I know that this happens with kits, do you see my red? And do you see this red? Very, very, very different. So this will still be pretty, and I think that my red matches. And again, I went back and watched my video last week. I don't think the reds were as neon as what they look like to me right now, but this is not crazy neon red, but it's a brighter red. So in the future, if I run across that one of these, I will probably replace the red. I feel like it's better for me to buy the kit versus trying to keep a stash of wool on hand, because I need nothing else to accumulate in my sewing room. So I have done a blanket stitch right here just along this line. I started with my 1 star. It's not so crazy perfect, but you know, you have to practice. You have to start somewhere. So I started with that one. I will put the words in. I'll probably do that last. And then at the end, it calls for putting a piece of homespun on the back and then just doing a blanket stitch all the way around. And we went back to a show. The lady that I bought this from, she was at a quilt show that we went to yesterday. And I bought 2 more kits. But I did look at hers just to kind of see how she was doing her stitches, and I got some ideas about how to maybe make mine a little bit better. I didn't get to talk to her very much because it was so busy. It was the Statesville Fiber Art show, so just vendors upon vendors upon vendors. They had so much going on. We have been discussing possibly venturing into a long arm quilt machine, and we had stopped to talk to someone, and there were so many people there. It was just, you couldn't even get information. There was one lady that I had ordered some fabric from, or not ordered, but I bought a semi-kit from last time. She didn't have any more of the background fabric. I tried to talk to her again. I talked to her, but it was just, you couldn't get information. It was like you had to go in and grab what you needed real fast and get out of that booth and go to the next one, because it was like shoulder to shoulder and it was cramped and it was tight. And I love to have the variety of all those vendors, but it was very hard to shop. And I've been to that show before. I try to go every year, but sometimes it gets snowed out. We seem to always wind up with snow. But it was just, there were so many people this time, so many. So I don't remember that being such an issue the last time. But anyway, I don't know why I was rambling about all that. But I did buy 2 more kits, or my husband bought me 2 more kits. We had looked at this one initially. This is a Primitive Gatherings, Home of the Brave. We had looked at this one first, but I decided I didn't want to start something this big before I did just a little one, just to try it to see if I liked it. So I like it enough that I think I would venture in and do this one. I like the way they finished this. They finished this one in a frame versus just freestanding or free hanging. And if I get this one finished, that would be what I would want to do. I want to mimic how she finished this one. And I did see there is a difference with Primitive Gatherings directions, because I kind of peeked out a little bit, and this is So Cherished. There is a different methods used in their directions. So since I've tried So Cherished, I think I may try Primitive Gatherings, which seems to be similar to, just by me reading it real fast, it seems similar to what Carol Saltbox Stitcher did a video on recently for wool applique. And she said hers is the Maggie Bananami, maybe, version. And her wool applique is really pretty. So I'm going to go back and watch that one again before I do this one. But I didn't refrain from buying more, but I am not going to start another one until I finish this first one, because I want to practice my blanket stitch on that. I also bought a kit from the same lady, but this is Bare Roots. I guess the company that did this one. It's a little candle mat. She had, her booth was beautiful. I mean, she could not have packed anything else in there. She also had punch needle, and I have tried punch needle and failed at punch needle. I've watched Teresa Kogut's videos 400 times on punch needle, and I still can't do it. But seeing her stuff in person on her punch needle that may be a venture down the road. I don't know. But they had this one which has quilt blocks around it. They have another one that is sewing themed, and they have one that has just dogs, one that has just cats, one has little chicks around it. It's just so cute. So as we were talking to her, we did find out there is another show in Raleigh, another vendor show in March. So I'll probably be back to visit her again. But we'll see. We'll see how I do with that. So also, I did lose a day of quilting, because I normally try to sew some on Saturday, and like I said, last Saturday I didn't feel well, so I've lost some time. I'm so far behind on socialites too, but I like it. I just haven't had the time to do. So I did complete one more block, and I'm doing the 6-inch version. So this one I finished. I think that, how many do I have? I have 7 done. I think there's 6 more that have been released that I haven't done. But I'll just show you real fast. I've already shown these, but these are the other blocks. Just show you real fast. And I really like this colorway. It's like red, cream, pinks, and you know, again, I told you last video, not a pinky girl. But these I really like, so I will get back to that one. My thought is that maybe I would just do 2 every week until I catch up, but we'll see. The only other quilting that I worked on is the Scraps of Kindness stitch along that I'm getting it from Fat Quarter Shop. It's a Kim Deal pattern. And it is like the spools I talked about. There was several spool videos. I did cut out all my pieces, and then what I did was for like 3 days, I spent 3 days, I just came home and sewed 2 blocks because it's duplicate. It's different prints, but it's duplicate of the pattern. So I have 6 blocks done, and that's all I have until the next group comes out. I would assume you get 6 each time or multiples. I love this fabric. It went together really good. I had trouble, this first one I'm going to show you, I had trouble with this one in particular. I don't know why, because it seemed like the easiest out of the 3 patterns, but it gave me a little bit of a fit. But I do just want to let you know, just a little tip. This is my nerd note for this video. I try to, especially when I know I'm not going to have a lot of sewing time, I will take a day and just do nothing but cut. Just cut all my stuff out, or cut several things out, so that if I do only have 20 minutes in the evening, which is hard to get into a sewing rhythm in just 20 minutes, but if everything's cut out, I don't have to think about that. I don't have to be focused on that. And my cuts seem to be a little more precise because I'm not going, oh, I want to cut this and I want to see a block finished. When I know in my mind I'm not going to get a block finished, I'm just going to cut. So anyway, all that babbling to show you, this is the first spool. And for whatever reason, I could not get like this. I could not get these points to match up without having like bunching. So the first one I did, I think I took it out like 4 times. And I was so frustrated. So frustrated with that. Like, you would think I had not sewn a day in my life before. The next block has flying geese in it. And I did use the pattern directions for these flying geese, which is draw the line with the square, flip it, and trim it. I would normally, if it was just flying geese and a pattern that I had true yardage and knew I would have plenty, I would have used the flying geese ruler by Creative Grids. But those are cute. And then I think that was the second set I did, and then the first set I did was actually the more patchworky. So those will be together, and I know they're also doing a sew along with Lori Holt's spool quilt. I can't remember the name of it, and I think hers are kind of set like this, so that each block is turned and rotated. In this one, they are not. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. They are not. Yeah, they're not turned and rotated. They are straight, but they are offset, like they're in rows with some sashing between, and then the next row would be offset some. So I'm very excited about this one. I think it's very, very pretty. So I will probably get, I'm trying to remember when it ships. I may have the next set by the next video to show you what's coming up in those. So now, since I did bucket list for cross stitch, I also want to do that for quilting and just show you some of the items. Now I don't want to say I'm distraught, but I'm a little disturbed because I have 2 things that are on my quilting bucket list. I don't know where my books went. I have them somewhere in this room, and it's bothering me because I have been organizing since first of the year, trying to get everything together, and I have all my books in one spot, and these 2 books are not there. So once upon a time, when I had just gotten into quilting, I had the square storage containers, and each project would be in a storage container. I hope that I have done that with the one, because I feel like I might have. The other one, it should be with my books, and it's not, and I don't know. Hopefully I will find it. Those 2 are The Farmer's Wife, and this is just, it has templates in the book, and I had and it comes with a CD, and I had printed off all the templates for the book, so I have all the templates, but I don't have somewhere I have the book that has all the blocks in it. This is so pretty, so pretty. I had started it when it was probably above my skill level. And sometimes I think that's okay, because if you don't know it's above your skill level, you just jump in and you're not scared of it. But now I don't think I would have very much trouble doing it, but I would need the book first. So that's coming. This is a Judy Niemeyer pattern coxcomb. I have seen this pattern for years. I have never been in love with it, never had any desire to do it. I do have a 3 ring runner that I did that's Judy Niemeyer. I probably did this, wow, 10, 12, 15 years ago. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's hanging on my rack, not quilted. So one day it'll get quilted. It's really pretty. I love it. But it did make me, because I started with a smaller project and I went and I actually saw it demoed in a quilt shop. Somebody live in front of me, not a video, but a true person standing in front of me, demoed it and made it so simple and so easy that I'm not too very scared of these. There's a lady that comes to camp that does one just about every year, one of hers. I have this and 2 other patterns, and one day I will do them. But anyway, back to this one. Like, it has never been anything that has made me go, ooh, I really want to do that. I really want to do it. Nope, not at all. And this color way does absolutely nothing for me. But several years ago, someone posted this, and they had used, the background was like a slate gray kind of color, and then all these pieces in here and around the border were like chartreuse and magenta, and they were just not like in your face bright, but not this. And I was like, ooh, that is really, really pretty. So this was on clearance at my local quilt store. She was getting rid of some of her bigger kits, so I snatched her right on up. So one day, and it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot in there. Which I will say that if you are thinking about doing a Judy Niemeyer and don't have the means to take a class, I know there's a local lady here that does a lot of classes for her, but they're not cheap. If you are thinking about it and you can't do the class, just keep in mind that all the wordy directions are just because that person is not in front of you being able to show you. So it seems very wordy, but if you just break it down a little bit at a time, the directions are not that bad. Okay, next, I am a big fan of Judy Martin quilts. One of the probably first 10 quilts that I finished was a wedding quilt for my niece. That, again, at the time was probably out of my skill level, but I didn't know any better. It was a Judy Martin, and I have to tell you, it went together beautifully because her directions and her piecing approach are phenomenal. So any of her books that are available, I own. If I don't own it, I don't know about it. So I'm going to show you a few from her that are definitely on my list. I mean, I want to do more than this of hers, but these just I want to do forever. This one, this is called Echoing Stars, and this is in the Stellar Quilts book. I don't want to show you something I shouldn't be showing you. Hold on. And this is the colorway that I like. In her books, she is fantastic about giving you different colorways. Let me see if I can give you an example. So she will show you different colorways and different ways, different orders and stuff to put them in. But I have loved this quilt for the longest time. I had originally thought about doing it in batiks, but I think I may do maybe a mix of batiks and grunge. Because I do think grunge plays really nice with batiks. Here's another Judy Martin book, Singular Stars. Everything in here is so pretty. This is amazing. And this is what I actually bought the book for, was because this had been shown. But the two in this book that really talked to me are, I'm sorry, I didn't have these covered up before. Skewed 9-patch. And Queen of Diamonds. I mean, that is amazing. Will I live long enough to make all these quilts? Probably not. But aren't they beautiful? Okay, and one more Judy Martin quilt book. Red, white, and blue star quilts. I would like to tell you I just have one picked out of this book, but I don't. This, if you were only going to buy one of her books, I would say this one. Just look at that. Oh, and right there. Okay, this is one of the books I thought I lost. This was in one of her other books also. This is one of the patterns. The Farmer's Wife, and this one is the one that I couldn't find earlier. This is called Shakespeare in the Park. I want to say in the first book that it was all blue. This is pretty in all red. I have seen people do it in a rainbow, like ombre kind of look coming down. But just, oh, so pretty. So, so pretty. Okay, two more, and then I'm done. This one, I did a little version of this one, and I did it in batiks, just to try it, because at one time I had a ton of batiks, just a ton of batiks, and it's not really, some quilts just need to be in a certain kind of fabric, and I don't think this, for me, was a good one to try in batik. So I have it. It's like a baby size quilt at this point. I'll have it quilted at some point, but it's by no means as pretty as what it should be. But Dear Jane. And I know several people are working on this. I know at one point, I didn't realize this, but I guess at one point the book was out of print maybe, and they've just started reprinting it maybe. I don't know. I was very surprised because I told a friend of mine, I was like, you can't get the Dear Jane, like it's on, you know, eBay and everything for some crazy amount of money. She was like, oh, I'm gonna sell mine. And the next week they were like, okay, we're reprinting it. But it's just, it's pretty. And the story that's in here about the lady that made this quilt is very cool. We have a lady here local that made one, and she's had it in several of the quilt shows. It's been a few years back. She brought it to the quilt store that I was working at and showed it. You know, it was like a show and share kind of thing or whatever. She came and showed it, and it will stop you. It is a very impressive quilt. Sometimes when you do a quilt, it looks like you put a lot of time into it and you really didn't because of the shortcuts. Other times there are quilts that you put a ton of work in and it doesn't look as impressive as the amount of time that you put in it. This one looks like you put a lot of time in it. You do put a lot of time in it, and it is 100% worth it. It is amazing. I don't know how many times I've said amazing in this video, but it is, I love it. So that one, and the problem I have with that one is because I've seen so many, some do it in the original colors. I've seen all red, I've seen all blue, I've seen all black. I like all of them, so I'm kind of torn about what colorway I want to do. I'm sorry. But I think because I am starting to really like the Civil War prints, I may veer towards doing it in something close to the original colors with like reproduction prints or Civil War prints, but I'm still not 100% certain. But once I decide, it's not something that you're repeating blocks. Like every block is different and unique, so it's not something you would get bored on, but it's not something you can finish quickly. But I will have no trouble like jumping into that. This next one I have started. I should have pulled my blocks out that I've already done, but I saw this one in a quilt store that had the a sample of it made and put up, and it was done more in these kind of prints. And I was like, yep, I'm gonna need that. So I bought it right away, came home, and I've done probably maybe 20 blocks. Maybe 20 blocks. There's 182 in here, and they are 4 by 5 inch blocks. Dear Jane is all I don't remember the size blocks, but they're square blocks, and then the finishing pieces, these are rectangular, so I thought that was neat. They were a little bit different. But I did start this one, and this one I am doing in batiks. The background piece I don't have yet because I'm torn between doing gray or blue between there. I think that's pretty. And they have a couple different layouts in here, and you know, if you didn't want to do that many blocks, they have some layouts that are different, but they have very good. Let me see if I can get one so I'm not giving you stuff away again. Well, I don't think I can do it without giving it away, but they have a picture of each block and then very good directions next to them. And the blocks that I've done have turned out really good. I am pressing everything open on this, so I think that does make a little bit of a difference. So I didn't get my quilting UFO complete. My piecing UFO was this, the 1x1, and I showed this in the last video. I only have a couple rows together, but that's okay. I knew I wouldn't finish it this time. I just wanted to get some work done on it, so I did get a little bit of work done on it. It's nice because all it is sewing 2.5 inch squares together and then some half square triangles, but it's bad because that's all you're doing is sewing 2.5 inch squares and half square triangles together. So it gets a little monotonous and I get bored with it and I put it back away. I did have a quilt top on my UFO list to be quilted. I did not get that sent off. I will blame that I didn't feel good last weekend, but I probably wouldn't have done it anyway. So I will hopefully get that caught up. And again, I will post on Instagram when the new number is pulled, what my project is. The cross stitch one will be on my cross stitch Instagram, which is I am a stitch nerd, and the quilting one will be on my quilt Instagram, which is I am a quilt nerd. I will hopefully be back in 2 weeks and have some progress. I have several quilting projects that I wanted to get to that I have not, so I hope to spend some more time over this next 2 week span getting those done. And I have tons and tons, obviously, of stitching that I want to get done. So hopefully you will come back in the next 2 weeks and see me and see what progress I have. Hopefully you will comment below. Don't forget, show me your comment below and let me know what your bucket list items are, whether that be stitching or cross stitch. Stitching or cross stitch, oh my word, cross stitch or quilting. I would love to see those and be able to see if we have similar interests, see what like minds think. So hopefully I will see you in a couple weeks. If you like the videos, please let me know by liking, subscribing. I do appreciate all my new subscribers. I'm so glad that you have found me and that you have stuck around and watched me. I had a couple people tell me they binge watched me. I was so excited. Who wants to watch me that much? But I'm so glad and thankful that you did. So I thank you very much. I thank you for returning viewers, and I will see you in 2 weeks, guys.